Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege to host today's IRE talk. And today's topic is innovative research at the intersection of food chemistry and Ayurveda. I am Professor Sandeep Ansali, your host for today's IRE talks. Before we begin, please allow me to share a few insights about GIBS Business School. GIBS Business School Bangalore is based in Bangalore and we are managed by Goel Educational Trust. It is a prestigious institution in Bangalore offering AICTE Approved PGDM Program and BBA Program from Bangalore University. Our faculty emphasizes and mentors the practical education learning for all its students preparing for the industry through the programs such as GIBS Finishing School, GIBS IRE School, and with a strong track record of having 100% placement in almost all the top-notch institutions or the organizations. GIBS ensures a bright career prospects. At GIBS, we foster innovation, research, and entrepreneurship. Our mission is to empower individuals for personal as well as professional growth, developing their leadership skills, facilitating networking opportunities. And hence, we have the keynote speaker for today, Dr. Dimpla. Dr. Dimpla Jangda is our keynote speaker for today's IRE talks, and she is an extraordinary personality in the field of gut health and Ayurveda. Madam stands as a visionary founder of Prana Healthcare Center and the Prana Academy for Ayurvedic Life Sciences with Jain Online. Dr. Dimpla his illustrious journey includes a prestigious honorary doctorate from the National American University, USA, the Thames University, Paris, recognizing her pioneering research in gut health and preventive care through Ayurveda science and food chemistry. Her exceptional contribution has earned an array of prestigious awards, including Asia Iconic Award in 2023, Business World's Future Masters in 2022, and the coveted Times Brand Icon in 2021. Prana Healthcare Center, an embodiment of excellence, earned the distinction of being featured in Doing Business in South Asia, chosen amongst the top 20 companies from the pool of 2,000 applicants across Asia. Dr. Dimpla's influence extends far and wide with our transformative workshops for having more than 85,000 plus participants across diverse corporate, educational and government platforms, including the Ayush Ministry, the Jal Ministry, and many more. She is a captivating presence in the media realm with her TV show Ayurveda Diaries, captivating over 45 million viewers, and her podcast, A Gut Story by Dr. Dimpla, inspiring listening from over 102 countries. Her social media impact equally profound, resonating 500,000 followers on @Prana by Dimpla, as well as one more handle is Dr. Dimpla Jangda, where she imparts life-altering health wisdom to a global audience. Dr. Dimpla stellar clients boost celebrities such as Judy Chawla, Anjali Tendulkar, Dolce & Gabbana team from Paris, Huma Qureshi, and many such more. Before her current acclaim, she enjoyed a thriving career as an investment banker in New York and a dynamic producer. Her journey is an inspirational journey to the power of passion, knowledge, and dedication. Madam, we thank you so much once again for joining us. And a small announcement before I hand it over to ma'am, that in case if you have any doubts, any queries, please feel free. You can put it in the Q&A section. We will take these questions at the end of the session. Now, over to you.
Thank you so much for such a kind introduction, Mr. Sandeep. I really appreciate the GIBS School as well, for such a warm welcome and for making this arrangement. I'm going to have a look at, the specific subject of food chemistry for you, because I understand you're at the cross junction of innovation and futuristic science, right? I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about gut health. I'm sure everybody is curious about what is gut health, right?
Absolutely.
Now, gut has become like this new language, right? Now, these are all our celebrity clients from around the world who've done treatments with us. Let's get straight to the gut. What is the gut? The stomach or the intestines, right? You can put in your answers in the chat box. I'm more than happy to read your answers, guys. Just put in your answers. What is the gut? Is it the stomach or is it intestines? It's the culmination of 3 organs, actually. The gut is basically where food passes after digestion. It's made of the small intestine, large intestine, and colon. Now, some scientists say The gut includes everything right from the stomach to the esophagus to the mouth, all the way up to the colon. So some scientists say that everything from the mouth to the colon is part of the gut. Now, the gut is loaded with bacteria that allows us to digest foods and everything, right? Now, moving forward, the gut is where food passes after digestion, and the colon is responsible for elimination of waste. The small and large intestine have a very specific role. The small intestine is responsible for absorbing and assimilating nutrients, and the large intestine is basically responsible for taking out the moisture and removing all the insoluble fiber and preparing it for evacuation, moving it towards the colon, right? The digestion begins in the mouth and ends in the stomach. So right from your mouth to your stomach to your intestines to your colon, everybody plays a very critical role. Now, which one sounds right? I have a heart feeling, I have a gut feeling, or I have a brain feeling? What will you say in a class? Or if you're in a business meeting, right? And you were talking to the entrepreneur, to the founder, and you say, I have a heart feeling this is going to work. He's not going to listen to you. But the minute you say, I have a gut feeling, sir, this strategy is going to work. Trust me, go with this. For some reason, the person who was not listening to you will suddenly turn around and say, okay, let's try this. Because feelings indeed come from the gut. When you feel anxious, scared, excited, happy, nervous, butterflies fluttering in the stomach, where do you feel it? You feel it in the gut first. Why? The gut has more neurons lining its walls than there are neurons in the brain. What does that mean? Neurons are basically those that allow you to sense, to feel, to emote. So if there are no more neurons in the gut than there are neurons in the brain, that means you're feeling more in the gut than you're feeling in the brain. The brain is only interpreting that information and telling you what emotion that is. But that experience is happening in the gut. Anxiety, fear, butterflies fluttering in the stomach, hunger, even memories are stored in the gut. Scientists have found that, say, if you have a flashback memory of your grandmother, you start salivating, not because your grandmother was yummy, but because you start remembering all the foods your grandmother gave, like a milkshake, a lassi. She probably gave you pickles and parathas and homemade, kimchis, the Indian version of the kimchis, obviously. She gave you all these yummy foods. You start salivating because memories are stored in the form of experiences, what you experienced when you were around that person. Smell, taste, sound, how your gut experienced it at that moment, that particular food. So the gut is also where memories are stored. And the gut is called the second brain by modern scientists. Modern scientists have gone one step forward to say it's not only the second brain, it's the biggest brain of the body. Because if you look at the brain, it's this big. The gut is this big. At least this big. 22 feet long small intestine, 6 feet long large intestine, right? And then the colon, and then if you go ahead with the other scientist explanation, the stomach, the esophagus, the mouth, everything becomes part of the gut. Now, the gut and the brain have a very unique relationship. They're directly connected. The gut is connected to the brain through a neurosis. I'm showing it as a blue color line here. Okay, the neurosis sends signals every micromillion second to the brain. Now, if the gut is not happy, if you have bloating, gases, flatulence, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, IBS, and your stomach is bubbling, will you be able to focus in this workshop? You'll not be able to. You'll not be able to focus on your meeting. You'll not be able to focus on your date. It won't be romantic anymore if your gut is troubled, right? You'll be focused on running to the bathroom or figuring out how to release all that gas and the bloating and the flatulence and that acidity. You're looking for a solution. The gut is communicating to the brain every micromillion second. And if the gut is upset, the brain is constantly focused on healing the gut. The brain cannot function on anything else, which is why we say the gut affects the neurological health and also psychosomatic health. Your gut bacteria, by the way, we have 1 trillion bacterial cells, at least 1 trillion. 85% good, 15% bad bacteria is an acceptable ratio. The good bacteria will give you good moods, good digestion, good appetite, good metabolism. The bad bacteria will give you bloating, gases, flatulence, indigestion, acidity, reflux, and the bad bacteria will also give you bad cravings. Good bacteria will crave healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, grains and pulses, because a good bacteria wants to multiply and strengthen your digestion. Your bacteria is responsible for your digestion. But the bad bacteria flourishes on unhealthy food. So it will crave unhealthy foods like junk foods, chips, deep fried foods, snacks, dead foods like pizzas and burgers. Why are they dead? There's no nutrition left in it. Meat and seafood sometimes, all of these are called dead foods because they have negative vibrational frequency. What is positive vibrational frequency? Fruits have the highest vibrational frequency. Vegetables the second highest. Grains and pulses little less. Why? Because they have a high shelf life. They've been separated from the plant. Okay. Dairy, meat, seafood, eggs are known to have a negative vibrational frequency below 0 MHz. Fruits, vegetables, grains have anywhere between 0 to 540 MHz vibrational frequency. You can actually check the vibrational frequency of these foods using modern equipment. So your healthy bacteria will crave healthy foods and thus create healthy moods. Your bad bacteria will crave unhealthy foods and thus create bad moods like anxiety, stress, lack of coordination, lack of concentration, mood swings, irritability. Now, if you have ghar ka dal chawal and then study for your exams, you'll be able to study. But if you have a big box of pizza, will you be able to study? You'll feel sluggish, you'll feel weak, you'll feel exhausted, and your brain is so busy focusing on digestion because the gut is communicating to the brain saying, what is this that has come into the gut? I don't know. Can you help me decipher the information? The liver is communicating, the gallbladder is communicating. They're all figuring out how to digest that food. And the brain's like, wait, let me figure out. And then it's busy figuring out how to digest it. That's why they say stay hungry if you want to become rich and famous, if you want to become successful, right? Monks and sages sit and meditate, think, strategize, study on an empty stomach early in the morning hours. Now, of course, we can't stay hungry all day. But what they say is eat foods that are easy to digest so that you have the rest of the time available to study. If you're going to be busy digesting foods all day long, where are you going to study, right? So you have to understand your gut impacts your moods, neurological, psychosomatic health, and affects your skin and hair as well. Now, if your gut is unhealthy, if it's leaky gut syndrome is a modern phenomenon that we're all affected by nowadays. What happens? The gut starts releasing not just the nutrients. It's supposed to release the nutrients into the bloodstream. But instead of nutrients, it is also releasing now undigested food, heavy metals, toxins, parasites, unhealthy bacteria into the bloodstream. The body goes into an autoimmune response now because it has to protect itself. So it starts attacking everything that has got leaked into the bloodstream. Even the nutrients and the unhealthy bacteria and undigested foods are getting attacked because the body doesn't know the difference between good and bad. That autoimmune response is a body's defense mechanism. But if it keeps going into that autoimmune response every now and then, what will happen? We can trigger autoimmune disorders also. What are the autoimmune disorders? It could be something like thyroid, alopecia. It could be heart-related disorders. Autoimmune disorders will become so severe that medicines cannot help you recover them. Right? Then you become dependent on medicines all your life. You don't want that. Now, gut is directly connected to your skin and hair. If your gut is leaking, all the leakage, all the toxins that has been leaked into the bloodstream will accumulate under the surface of the skin. The body's pushing it deliberately towards the surface of the skin because it wants to push it out through the pores in the form of sweat. But the toxins are too big and they get accumulated under the skin and cause pimples, acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, urticaria. Okay. In fact, Chinese doctors and Ayurvedic doctors will look at your face, your tongue, and tell you exactly which organ is toxic. For example, if you have pimples and acne in the top part of the cheek, it means your stomach is not clean. Lower part of the cheek, your lungs is not clean. If you have pimples and acne on your chin region, it means your gynecological health or your fertility issue is being triggered. Pimples and acne at the tip of your nose is usually the heart. Even the upper lip is the heart. Dark circles, puffiness under the eyes means your liver is heavy or your kidneys are not hydrated. Pimples and acne at the temples is also the liver. And then you have the small intestine, large intestine, and gallbladder as well, your bladder, right? Different parts of your face correspond to different organs. So your skin is an indicator of health. If you have unhealthy skin, your mother will say, "Pet saaf nahi hota." They'll immediately say that, right? Tumhara pet saaf nahi hua. They're not trying to make fun of you. They're speaking the truth that your stomach is not clean. Your toxins have not got eliminated. Your bladder, your colon is not clean and the toxins have now entered the bloodstream. Why did we have, these neem purifying ads? You remember Safi was a very famous ad 10 years ago. We used to all have Safi whenever we had pimples. What was Safi? Safi was neem ka juice, the juice of neem leaves along with other bitter herbs. It would help in purifying and cleaning up the blood of all the toxins from our pizzas and burgers and pav bhajis and all the masala puris and pani puris that we have. Even I love eating all of that, okay? But I limit it to once a month. I remember that it's a cheat meal. A cheat meal means we're cheating on our body. Would you like it if someone cheats on you? Your friend cheats on you and then makes plans with other friends and doesn't call you for a movie, or your girlfriend or boyfriend cheats on you? You won't like it, right? Why would you cheat on your own body? So when people ask me, can I have a cheat meal? I was like, do you like cheating on yourself? No, right? So once in a while, if we eat it, you have to remember that you're still cheating on your gut But let's have it in moderation. Let's not have it in the form of an addiction that you have to come back to the pani puri every day till your skin has completely gone out of control and no gynecologist or skin specialist can help you out. Don't go to that connection. Now, your gut flora is directly connected to your mental and emotional health. If you want to have good moods, you want to have good mental health, good emotional health, you need to make sure that your food is fully digested, absorbed and assimilated, and the waste is fully eliminated. There can be no leftovers in the body. Leftovers in the body will become hardened waste. That hardened waste will cause the bad bacteria to multiply. That bad bacteria will affect your mental and emotional health. Okay? Now, how many of you can relate to this? Having colon and gut disorders, how unhappy it makes us, right? How uncomfortable it makes us. Yet we don't speak about it openly because maybe we are shy, maybe the society doesn't allow us to talk about it openly. Most of the times you don't even talk to our own parents and friends and family about it. If you have indigestion, bloating, gases, flatulence, hyperacidity, acid reflux, burning sensation, IBS, diarrhea, constipation, these are the signs that your gut is unhealthy. You need to detoxify. How are we going to detoxify? I'm going to give you some simple remedies based on food chemistry, okay, so that we can understand also how food impacts our gut health. And the combinations of foods has a very powerful role to play. Now, this is a 3-day workshop from where I'm borrowing the notes. Of course, I'm going to do one part of it so that you fully understand that one part. And those of you who are interested in doing the gut reset workshop, I can give you a complimentary access to the GIBS management. They can give you the link to join the gut reset workshop. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's starting today, 6 to 7:30 p.m. And tomorrow it's in the morning as well as in the evening. You can attend either of it. So you're most welcome to join. Now, this is one thing I want you guys to remember. This picture, 90% of the diseases in our body are caused due to an unhealthy colon or a diseased colon. See the diseases here. Literally all your symptoms are covered here. 90% of the diseases are caused due to internal factors. And this is a study done by Harvard, Stanford, Atlanta, Georgia, Maryland universities. All the leading universities have come to a conclusion that the gut health and the colon health plays a very critical role in our overall health. Okay. I'll take the questions after finishing the workshop. Okay. Now look at the bronchial diseases, allergies, flu, nasal congestion, asthma, hay fever, depression, chronic fatigue disorder. These are your psychosomatic imbalances, lack of coordination, lack of concentration, mood swings, irritability. All your symptoms related to your stomach and gut, constipation, diarrhea, gas, IBS, anemia, malnutrition, all the way up to cancer. Cold extremities, athlete's foot, toenail fungus. And look at the other issues, abdominal pain, burping, bloating, esophageal reflux, heartburn, gynecological health issues, skin diseases, musculoskeletal disorders. All of these diseases are caused due to an unhealthy colon or a leaky gut syndrome. So what must we do? We must pay attention to our ability to eliminate waste on a daily basis. If you're constipated even for one day, it is not good. It is a sign of something getting stuck in the body. You must immediately start doing juicing of fruits or go on a fast till the toxins come out. Only then will you eat solid foods. Okay, so I'll talk about it in detail. Leaky gut syndrome, which I spoke about, it's basically your gut leaking the toxins and the nutrients. And it begins with simple issues like constipation, diarrhea, IBS. It starts causing fatigue, joint-related disorders, sinus and mouth issues, frequent cold and cough, food sensitivities, gluten, lactose intolerance, brain issues like depression, anxiety, ADHD, skin issues, acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, thyroid, Hashimoto, Graves, all of these. Okay. Now, solution for 90% of the diseases in the world is found in Ayurvedic textbooks backed by modern research. Okay. We're not demonizing modern science, pharma. Neither are we demonizing or invalidating traditional sciences that has allowed our ancestors to survive. Remember, modern science is work in progress. Earth was once flat. Now they're confident it is round. After that, they said, no, it is flat on the poles. Otherwise, it's circular. Right? So modern science is work in progress. As and when we progress, we will keep changing our views and opinions of the world. First, we said we were our chimps were our ancestors. We came from apes. But now they say, no, apes and human beings existed together at the same time. How did we evolve from apes, and why are the apes in the zoo not evolving into human beings anymore? Right? So the Darwin's theory has also gone through some amount of yes and no, and, peer reviews, objecting to it. Like modern science is work in progress. Now, this is what you need to understand. I'll answer the questions towards the end. Mihir, you don't have to raise your hand. I'll take it towards the end. So what you need to understand is nature created humanity and humanity created modern science to understand the miracles of nature. Does that make sense? Nature created humanity, human beings. Human beings created science to understand the miracles of nature. So who is the forefather or the real ancestor or creator of science? Nature. So nature supersedes modern science. Science cannot create trees and oxygen in a laboratory. Okay? They're talking about creating machines that will increase oxygen supply. All you have to do is plant trees. You don't have to create machines to create oxygen. See, that's how far science can take you away from logic sometimes. Science is good, but it must be married with logic. It must be married with traditional sciences that has allowed all our ancestors to survive. Your ancestors did not have pharma, antibiotics, drugs, steroids. How did they survive? They survived okay, right? And that's why we're alive, right? Now, drugs, steroids, and antibiotics, over abuse of it is the reason why we had this COVID era, because we became antibiotic resistant. What does it mean? We've had so much antibiotics in our body that our body was not responding to a simple paracetamol and crocin anymore. Even your paracetamol and your crocin and your Dolo 650 comes with a warning at the back. What does it say? Harmful for the liver in the long run. Now, there's a very famous scientist in the US who has said that the third largest killer after heart disease and obesity, the third largest killer in the US is pharma drugs. Prescription drugs, not even pharma drugs, prescription drugs prescribed by a doctor is the third largest killer. Why? Drugs, steroids, and antibiotics are independently developed by pharma companies, and each one of them has to get an approval from the FDA and all the protocols that there is around the world, right? FDA is for the food. They have to go through a series of licenses. So they're getting license and approval for their single drug, their single steroid, their single antibiotic, following all the protocols. But each drug and steroid and antibiotic comes with a leaflet or a book full of information on what it should not be combined with, which can make it harmful or dangerous or hazardous, or it can also cause death in a patient if it's mixed with these compounds. When a doctor is prescribing drugs, they do not have the time to sit and read that entire booklet on crocin, on Dolo 650. They give it along with other medicines, which can sometimes react with each other and can cause severe complications. A lot of people would go to the hospital with one disease. Suddenly, the health starts deteriorating. Recently, we lost one family member to dengue, I think, or typhoid. Went to the hospital with just dengue, typhoid. Soon after, he had pneumonia. Soon after, his lungs collapsed. Soon after, something collapsed. Soon after, he was in ICU. He went into coma. At the age of 40, he was no more, right? He went in with a small disorder. But because even doctors nowadays do not have the time to read the pros and cons of every single drug, they're not understanding how the drugs are reacting with the other drugs that have all been independently developed, not developed together. They're reacting with each other and causing fatal side effect impact on the body. There's a long-term side effect. Now, there's a saying, those who take modern medicine must take another set of medicines to recover from the modern medicine, because it has a residue effect. So where should we use modern medicine? Modern medicine is for acute conditions, fracture, accident, heart attack. An acute condition requires acute measures where they cut you open quickly and fix you. They need to keep you alive. Okay? Modern medicine is actually complementary medicine. It complements our desire to live a long life. Modern medicine is not a lifestyle medicine. You don't wake up in the morning and put it in your mouth and go to sleep putting it in your mouth. It's not a lifestyle medicine. What does that mean? Modern medicine is for acute conditions, not for chronic diseases, not for lifestyle disorders. Okay? Now, having said that, let's move on to understanding what is Ayurveda. Of course, this is in greater detail. Ayurveda is basically science of life, or the knowledge of life that allows you to fulfill your desire for a long, healthy, happy life. And it is designed based on your unique body type, your genetics, your family history, the topographic conditions, the seasonal and climatic conditions, the kind of foods you grew up on, your ethnicity. It takes into consideration all of this, the imbalances in your body, the symptoms and diseases, and it personalizes your diet, your lifestyle, and your medicines based on your body type. So no two body types are the same in the world. That means it cannot be one size fits all medicine. Everybody has fever. Everybody's been given crocin. That's not how it is. Everybody's fever might have a different root cause. One might be having fever because of wrong combination of food. One might be having a fever because of being exposed to cold water, ice creams, and sodas. One might be having a fever because of toxins trapped in the body, and the body is trying to release it in the form of fever, in the form of sweat. So you need to understand the root cause. That's where Ayurveda plays a role. This is a face mapping that I was talking about, right? How the face reflects organ health from inside. This is something very interesting. The waste coming out of your body shows which organ is detoxifying. If the waste coming out of your body is black in color, if your stools are black in color, it means it's coming from the liver. Black flecks, it's coming from heavy metals, presence of heavy metals in the body. Brown is from the liver, cellular debris, and tobacco. Dark green from the gallbladder, orange from the joints, red flakes is blood clot material, white cheese-like particles is usually yeast infection in the body, whiter foam is drainage from the lymphatic system, right? Yellow-green is from the kidneys, bladder, urinary tract, female and prostate area. You can take a screenshot of this, a picture of this. If you're having discoloration in the waist, it means you need to pay attention. You need to start fasting, detoxifying your body, and give your body all it needs to get rid of the toxins. Your body is struggling and trying to get rid of toxins. Discoloration is not bad. It's information coming out of the body, but you must pay attention to it immediately. Okay? Now, let's reset the gut back to good health. Today, we can talk about, since it is a cross-junction of food chemistry, I'll talk about food chemistry, okay? These are all advanced syllabus, which I'll be very happy to share with you guys in the 3-day gut reset workshop, which is very important. Now, this is the most important chapter in at least food chemistry. It's called Viruddha Ahar. Viruddha means contradictory, conflicting, wrong. Ahar means food. Viruddha Ahar means wrong combinations of foods that can cause diseases in the body. Okay? Now, rule number 1 is fruits. Eat it alone or leave it alone. Do not mix it with milk, yogurt, vegetables, grains, pulses of meat. Let's understand why. Fruits have active fruit enzymes. Fruits have active fruit acids. Fruits have malic acid, citric acid, fumaric acid. They can have a variety of fruit acids that are extremely reactive. Okay? I'm just telling you a few acids: absorbic acid, citric acid, malic acid, fumaric acids, citric acid, like I said. There are a series of this. Now, you can see some acids with your naked eye. You can't see it with the naked eye, but you can see its impact immediately. Now, you take a glass of milk and you squeeze some lemon juice in it. You squeeze a lime into it. How does it start reacting? It starts curdling. It starts breaking. Citric acid found in citric fruits like lemons, oranges, tomatoes even, will start reacting with the lactic acid found in dairy products. So what happens? The citric acid causes the lactic acid to make the milk break or curdle. That's how you make paneer. Now, that reaction happening outside the human body is fine. But imagine that milk curdling or breaking inside your body. What will happen when it's breaking or curdling inside your stomach, which is a very extremely sensitive organ, and the gut wall or the stomach walls is extremely sensitive to what is happening inside. That chemical reaction can cause erosion of the gut wall, can cause holes, ulcers. It can cause a leaky gut syndrome, because your gut is nothing but cells held tightly together in a conjunction like this. It's not a skin or a bag. The cell walls will become loose. And when the cell walls become loose, even your undigested food, heavy metals and toxins will get leaked into the bloodstream. Now, not just lemon, orange, and tomato, all fruits react with dairy products. Grapes and milk is instantly poisonous. It can kill an infant. Grapes and milk is instantly poisonous. Now, I remember one of my therapists had given her daughter a bowl of grapes, to eat. And after some time, I happened to notice it. And I immediately took it away, because this baby was barely 1 year old. She's on the mother's milk. If there's mother's milk still in her gut, in her tummy, the grapes will cause the milk to curdle and break. We took it away immediately, but we didn't know how much she had already eaten. That night, the baby cried all night, just as I expected, because she had terrible, painful cramps, and the milk had started curdling inside her gut. We had to wait for it to all come out in the stools for her to relax. Until then, There was nothing much to do. You can give some medicines, but they're too harsh. We should not take medicines as some kind of a lifestyle remedy for everything that we eat. We must correct the root cause, which is the foods you're eating, right? It's like being in a boat. There are holes in your boat, which is causing the water to come inside the boat. But instead of plugging the holes, you're taking a bucket and constantly taking the water out of your boat. That's what you're doing with medicines. You're taking the water out of your boat. You're not plugging the holes. How do you plug the holes? You address the root cause of the problem, which is the way you're eating, the foods you're eating, the combinations of foods you're eating, the time of eating. All this has an impact on your health. So don't mix fruits with milk, with yogurt. Melons, watermelon, muskmelon, all kinds of melons turn instantly poisonous when they come into contact with dairy. So, having muskmelon with cream on top, they actually become poisonous inside your system. So you're not going to die. What it's going to do is that poisonous thing is going to cause diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, vomiting sensation, nausea, because your body knows this poison. Your body is trying to eliminate it very quickly. A small amount of poison, right? You have it once, your body can withstand it. You can have it twice, your body can withstand it. But if you have it repeatedly, what will happen? It will lead to a disease. What is disease? Dis-ease. It means not at ease. The gut is not at ease. The body is not at ease. The mind is not at ease. The emotions are not at ease. Disease means not at ease. Okay? You need to be comfortable with your body. Now, why do we say don't mix fruits with vegetables? Have you had fruits and yogurt, anybody? Fruit flavored yogurts? It's a leading cause of skin disorders now. Psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, urticaria is on the rise lately. Reason being, fruits mixed with yogurt, fruits mixed with milk creates undigested metabolic waste. The combination, there's a chemical reaction, right? Fruits have fruit acids. Dairy, milk and yogurt also have fruit acids. They react with each other. Now, fruits also has fructose. Yogurt has simple bacteria. The bacteria starts feeding on fructose, which is a form of sugar, and it starts multiplying very fast. So fruits and yogurt will cause them to multiply faster in your gut. And patients in the advanced stages have been able to experience and able to point out that it has led to IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and unexplained skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, urticaria. Reason being that undigested metabolic waste that has been created from the combination of fruits and yogurt is not getting digested by the gut. So the gut is not going to push it to the colon for elimination. It keeps it there because it's still trying to figure out how to digest it. It stays there for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and it now starts leaking into the bloodstream along with your nutrients. And now it starts surfacing towards the skin, that undigested metabolic waste. Metabolic waste is hazardous, right? It must be out of your system, but instead of getting out of your system, it's collected under the skin, triggering psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, urticaria. Wrong combinations of foods can trigger complex, unwarranted, unexplained diseases. We have a lot of patients coming to us with complex diseases saying that they've been to multiple GI specialists. Just now, an hour ago, I finished a consult. He said he's been to multiple GI specialists and they've not been able to find out the root cause. I said, yes, they'll never be able to find out because they're focusing on your organ's ability to digest anything. Your organ can't digest rocks. That we know by logic. But you're not able to accept the fact that your organ cannot digest even wrong combinations of foods. A GI specialist can tell you, okay, don't eat rocks, obviously, because it's going to hurt your gut. But the GI specialist will not know that food chemistry also impacts your organ health. You are the sum of the foods you've eaten. Now, fruits with vegetables is also forbidden. Why? Fruits have fruit enzymes. Vegetables have vegetable enzymes. They're two different families, totally. Fruits are either sweet, sour, or astringent in nature. Vegetables can be bitter, pungent, spicy, or salty in nature. They're two different groups altogether. Fruits requires only 3 hours in your body. It has been proven by modern science that fruits requires 1 hour in the stomach for digestion, 1 hour in the small intestine for absorption and assimilation, and 1 hour in the large intestine before it's ready for elimination. So if you eat only fruits all day, your body will be able to absorb 80 to 90% of the nutrients because fruits is pure nutrition. Pure nutrients. When someone is in the hospital, you don't give them a bag of what do you call junk food and pizzas and burgers and chips. What do you give them? You give them a basket of fruits, right? So this is what we need to understand with fruits. And the second thing is, fruits with vegetables is a bad combination because it can lead to indigestion. Vegetables require 6 hours in the body, 2 hours in the stomach, 2 hours in the small intestine, and 2 hours in the large intestine. So when we eat fruits and vegetables together in a salad, the digested fruit will start pushing the undigested vegetables into the intestines, where they start leading to bloating and gases because they're undigested. They should be fully digested in the stomach before they enter the intestines. Or the undigested vegetables will keep the fruits longer in the stomach than needed, not letting it go to the intestines. And the fruits then start fermenting with the stomach acids because of its sugary nature, causing burning sensation or acidity. Fruits should not be mixed with grains, pulses, and meat. Fruits should not be mixed with grains, pulses, and meat as well. Reason being, fruits requires 3 hours in the body. Grains and pulses requires about 16 hours in the body, 18 hours. 6 hours in the stomach, 6 hours in the small intestine, and 6 hours in the large intestine. Grains require longer to digest. When you eat fruits with grains, the digested fruit will cause the undigested grains to get pushed into the small intestine. That undigested grain will start fermenting, causing bloating, gases, flatulence, and indigestion. Okay? Now, either that will happen, or what is the other thing that can happen? The undigested grains can keep the fruits in the stomach longer than needed, leading to fruits becoming acidic in nature in the stomach. So fruits, the simple thumb rule is eat it alone or leave it alone. Don't mix fruits with dairy products like milk and yogurt. Don't mix fruits with vegetables. Don't mix fruits with grains and pulses. Fruits with meat is instantly poisonous again, in the sense it leads to immediate indigestion, bloating, gases, flatulence, or discomfort in the tummy. Reason being, meat, seafood, non-veg, eggs, all of these foods require 72 hours to get digested in the body. They spend 24 hours in the stomach, 24 hours in the small intestine, 24 hours in the large intestine. Okay? And also, meat is considered dead food. Dead food because it has no life in it. Fruits and vegetables have prana, which is source of life. So on a vibrational frequency, fruits, vegetables, grains, and pulses have been known to have a high vibrational frequency or a positive frequency between 0 to 540 MHz. But meat, seafood, eggs, even eggs and dairy products are inflammatory in nature. They increase the ESR levels of the body. They're inflammatory. Inflammation is the root cause of 50% of the diseases. Meat, seafood, eggs, and dairy will have a negative vibrational frequency and a negative impact on the body. So when you're fasting, when you're praying to God, when you're studying for exams, what do they give you? They give you vegetarian food, right? Now, the rule with fruits is eat it alone or leave it alone. If you're going to have fruits, have a 2-hour gap before fruits and 1-hour gap after fruits. What does that mean? If you're going to have breakfast, wait for at least 2 hours before eating fruits. Have your breakfast, because remember, it's grains and pulses and vegetables or whatever you're having. Give it at least 2 hours for it to move from the stomach to the intestines, but it's going to take longer actually. So wait for at least 2-3 hours. When you get hungry, that's when you eat fruits. When the previous meal has been fully digested is when you eat the next meal. Otherwise, the new food, undigested food, gets mixed with the digested, half digested foods, leading to bloating and gases. So the bacteria from the fresh foods, the raw foods, will start reacting. Anaerobic bacteria will start reacting with each other. We already have a lot of bacteria in the gut. They start reacting with each other, releasing bloating, gases, and flatulence, even methane and carbon dioxide. Okay? Now, if you have fruits first, you can wait for 1 hour and then eat breakfast, because fruits gets digested very quickly. After you eat fruits, within 1 hour, you can have your next meal. Okay? Vegetables. The rule with vegetables is obviously not to mix with fruits because it leads to bloating, it leads to indigestion, right? Vegetables require 6 hours in the body, fruits require only 3 hours in the body. Vegetables should also not be mixed with milk, ideally. Okay? Now, back in the day, our grandmothers used to make carrot ka halwa, lauki ka halwa, but they were made in a very systematic, scientific method. They would cook the carrots well with water, with sugar, with cardamom, with all the spices that they wanted. And they would slowly add milk. You know, making a carrot ka halwa was not a 10-minute job. It was a slow cooking process where they would be stirring. They'd be watching, making sure the milk is not breaking. They would slowly introduce the milk. If you're not cooking in that manner, then better not to mix vegetables with milk. All of the vegetables, by the way, turn toxic when mixed with milk. Aubergine with milk is poisonous. Aubergine, in fact, has maximum number of seeds, which is also home to tapeworms, tapeworm eggs, which when they enter the gut, if they leak into the bloodstream and deposit in the brain, they can cause seizures, epilepsy, they can cause frequent headaches, they can also cause involuntary movement of your muscles, and they can cause serious damage to the brain. Okay, that's why we cook our vegetables instead of eating it raw in the Indian culture. There's a reason why we don't eat raw salads. The only two vegetables that are eaten raw is carrot and cucumber, no other vegetable. Now, vegetables should not be mixed with milk unless you understand the combinations like potatoes and milk. Lots of people do, mashed potato with some cream on it, like goat cream and, cow-based dairy cream. Koreans and Chinese will not even touch it. Koreans, Japanese, and Chinese say that the body is extremely lactose intolerant. There's a reason why. Our body doesn't have lactase, which is required to digest dairy from cows. So now, increasingly, we're beginning to show signs of that lactose intolerance. They would immediately have diarrhea. If Japanese, Koreans, or Chinese by mistake have dairy because they've stayed dairy-free for so long, even a little bit of dairy will cause them to have a immediate diarrhea symptom. Okay, so vegetables should not be mixed with milk. Your potatoes with your cream. Nowadays, people have started having French fries with cheese on top, cream on top. All of these junk foods and wrong combinations of foods that you're having is the reason why you're getting this undigested food getting accumulated around the belly region. You're having a paunch or a belly. You're having unexplained skin disorders. You're having lack of coordination, lack of concentration because your gut is not able to digest those foods. You'll never see Koreans, Japanese, and Chinese eating French fries or creams or ice creams, donuts, cakes and pastries. It doesn't even exist in their culture. For them, it's carcinogenic. Milk and sugar are called carcinogenic, cancer-creating, which has been proven that sugar indeed can feed your cancer cells, right? And on a daily basis, the body is anyways fighting cancer cells. So do we want to make it more difficult for the body? No. Okay. Don't mix your vegetables with fruits or milk. That's a thumb rule you follow. And eat all your vegetables cooked, boiled, steamed, blanched. Do not eat raw vegetables. Spinach and kale, it has become such a wrong culture to put it in your smoothies and drink raw spinach juice and spinach smoothies. Let me tell you, spinach has a very high oxalate level, which can lead to kidney stones and gallbladder stones because that oxalate binds with the calcium in your body, in your bones, causes your bones to release calcium. It leaches calcium off your bones, causing bone-related disorders, and it binds into stones. And those stones can get formed in the kidney, gallbladder, pancreas, appendix, and cause serious health issues. Then you'll have to rush to the hospital. Remember, the hospitals are for acute health conditions, not for daily lifestyle disorders. So try not to put your spinach in your smoothies and juices. Never eat it raw. Spinach, kale, all leafy green vegetables. The surface is also home to parasites. Why? They nourish the parasites just like how they nourish our body. The parasites, the bacteria also depend on these vegetables and fruits for their source of nutrition. Capsicum. Remove the crown because the crown is where tapeworm eggs can live for days together. Aubergine. The seeds are also home to tapeworm eggs, which we can't see with our naked eye because they look the same. You cook it really well, aubergine. Colocasia leaves, which is basically Arabi ka patta. A lot of people just like wipe it with water and then start cooking it. You need to blanch these in hot water. Spinach and kale should be blanched in hot water before you make a sabji out of it to reduce the oxalate level. It has been proven by modern scientists that when you blanch these leafy greens, it reduces the oxalate level. The only vegetables that can be eaten raw safely is carrot and cucumber. Avocado is a fruit. Avocado can be eaten raw. Grains and pulses. Most people get bloating, gases, flatulence when they have dals nowadays. And they think they're getting intolerant to dals. No, it's your cooking process that is wrong. Dals have an outer layer, legumes, pulses, lentils, beans. Most grains have an outer layer that gives it a shelf life. That's nature's way of packaging it. So when you eat a banana, you don't eat the chilka, right? You don't eat the skin, you eat the banana. Why? Because you're not going to eat the packaging, you're going to eat the fruit. Same way with the grains and pulses, you pre-soak them for anywhere between 4 to 12 hours. Back in the day, our grandmothers always soaked our dals. It was not to save cooking gas. It was basically to get rid of phytic acid, which is linked to bloating, gases, flatulence, indigestion. And when you pre-soak it for 4 to 12 hours, you're releasing that phytic acid. Milk and nuts. Do not mix milk, obviously, with fruits, vegetables, or meat. Milk can be mixed only with nuts like dry fruits like almonds, walnuts, pistachio, dates, prunes, raisins. Milk can also be mixed with spices like cinnamon, cardamom, clove, grated ginger, pepper, star anise, lemongrass. Milk can be mixed with spices and nuts. Milk can be mixed with only two fruits. These are the two fruits that are an exception, mango and avocado. Any creamy, sweet, soft fruit that is not acidic or citric in nature, or that doesn't have any kind of acids. Even apple has fruit acids, malic acid, tartaric acid, fumaric acid. Even your banana has not acids, but it has some amount of oil. Banana is oily in nature. Apple milkshake, if you mix it and leave it on the kitchen and come back after half an hour, you notice it's turned brown. Obviously, it's reacting with the oxygen in the air. There's an oxidization process that's happening. Why is that a process happening? Because fruits have active fruit acids. So they're active. They have active enzymes. They're reacting with the air, with the oxygen. They're also reacting with the lactic acid found in dairy products. So fruit should not be had with dairy products, except mango and avocado. Mango can be mixed with milk, not dahi. Mango and milk is a great combination. If you're trying to get rid of the heat from the mango and prevent pimples and acne, you can mix mango and milk and have mango milkshake, or eat a mango and drink a glass of milk on top. Avocado milkshake is great if you're trying to put on weight. Garlic is boiled in milk for those who have inflammation in the body, high ASR levels. But that's a medicine. You take it only under a doctor's guidance, otherwise it can lead to nausea. Okay? You can mix ghee with milk to prevent constipation, to clear constipation. If you have constipation, have warm water with ghee early morning, empty stomach, have milk with ghee at bedtime. It has butyric acid that lubricates your GI tract and allows smooth evacuation of the waste. See, everything has a chemical component in it, right? Everything is made of chemicals, right? In the world, organic, inorganic. Your fruits and vegetables are made of organic chemicals that's edible. Your Harpic and your cleansing products that you're using, are made with inorganic chemicals, which are not suitable for the human body. Your pesticides, your insecticides, they're all inorganic chemicals that can destroy your body. So you must pre-soak vegetables and fruits really well with either baking soda. You can even use apple cider vinegar, fruit washes, that are organic to get rid of the chemicals, pesticides, and insecticides. Nuts is amiable, by the way. It can be mixed with fruits. Why? Fruits and nuts can be mixed. Nuts also requires 18 hours to get digested. 6 hours in the stomach, 6 hours in the small intestine, 6 hours in the large intestine. That's why we have nuts early in the morning. But it can be mixed with fruits because nuts and fruits come from the same food group. They come from the fruit family. Nuts also come from the fruit family. Why can you mix nuts with milk but not fruits with milk? Nuts have no active enzymes. They've been dried. The fruit acids have disappeared because of the drying process, dehydration process. So nuts can be safely mixed with milk. Fruits should not be mixed with milk. Nuts can be mixed with milk. Nuts can be mixed with fruits. Nuts can be mixed with vegetables. Nuts can be mixed with any food item. Okay. My book is coming out in October. It's called Heal Your Gut, Mind and Emotions, where an entire chapter is dedicated to food chemistry, understanding how foods react with each other. This will help you prevent diseases. The other 4 chapters are dedicated to circadian rhythm, digestion period of the foods, and understanding food pyramid, lifestyle changing habits, and the gut health, and how you can boost your gut health and also your mental and emotional health. It'll be out in October. The pre-order booking link will be available on my Instagram page. It's called @Dr. Dimple Jangda. You can just look up @DRDIMPLE. You'll find my page very easily. I would love for you to subscribe to it and listen to the health tips. I post one health tip every single day, which will help you boost your health, your immunity, and it will also give you the knowledge and intelligence to take care of yourself and your friends, family, and relatives. You can share this knowledge with your family, friends, and relatives. Okay. So that brings me towards the end of the workshop that I had in mind for you guys. It's just one of the 5 steps, like I said. If you guys want to attend the 3-day gut reset workshop, we'll give the complimentary access to your management. They can share it with you. We'd love to see you in class. So I'm happy to take up any questions, Mr. Sandeep.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. First of all, I must say that today's the session what we had, it gave a lot of eye openers, I would say, where a lot of myths I would consider as that we have been using it, we have been having it this way only. But whereas I am sure there are a lot of questions which are in the pipeline. So we will take up the questions starting from the first. It has been asked by Rajveer Singh. He says, Madam, I work in corporate and I have a gastric problem for few years. Is there any solution? I think this is one of the most common problem in these generation, I would say, who is working in inappropriate timing of the food habits, I believe.
See, let me tell you something, okay? Be it gastric problems, bloating, indigestion, gastritis, GERD, acidity, there's no switch on and switch off button in your body that you can switch on and switch off and say health on, health off, okay? So there's no one remedy for gastritis. Number one, you need to change your lifestyle. You cannot eat foods all day long, late in the night. You cannot eat foods after sunset. That's the main root cause of gastritis. After sunset, when the sun sets, your body's metabolic fire also sets, because the metabolic fire directly corresponds to the position of the sun. It rises with the sun. In the morning, you have a small breakfast. It goes to the peak in the afternoon. Your metabolic fire is also at the peak. Have the biggest meal of the day, lunch. In the evening, the sun sets, have the smallest meal of the day before sunset. After sunset, you strictly cannot eat food. Even if you're in a corporate life, there's no excuse. You carry your lunch and dinner to work, eat your lunch at 1 o'clock, eat your dinner at 6 o'clock, 6:30 max, and then go home. And at the max, if you're hungry again, you have a glass of milk with some ghee, haldi, nutmeg, or you can have a bowl of soup that has been well cooked, or some salads. You do not eat grains, pulses, legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. After sunset, it will stay in your gut until next morning, releasing gases, bloating, indigestion, and acidity. That's number one trick. And the other tricks is covered in the gut reset workshop. So happy to see you in that.
Thank you so much for that, ma'am. How there's one question which has been asked by Vijit Mishra. He says, how can we create a good health? I think the entire session was on that. How to create a good health.
Absolutely. Also follow the circadian rhythm, guys. Rise with the sun, set with the sun. What does that mean? Wake up with the sun. You're all students. You must know the importance of the sun god. You have to wake up 45 minutes before sunrise. In India, Brahma Muhurat happens about 48 minutes before sunrise. So it's actually 1 hour, 46 minutes before sunrise. It lasts for 48 minutes, and after that, it's over. Brahma Muhurat is the hour of creation. If you want to create a great future for yourself, you have to be up before sunrise, manifesting the life you want. If you want good health of the body, mind, and emotions, that's a trick. Rise with the sun, set with the sun. 10 o'clock has to be your deadline to go to bed. If you go to bed later than that, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is when the body creates serotonin, melatonin. Serotonin is your happiness drug. Melatonin is your body's ability to fall asleep and wake up based on the exposure to the sun. These chemicals are created in the body between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Those who miss that clock will end up having hormonal imbalances, anxiety, stress, depression, lack of coordination, lack of concentration, fatigue, low energy levels, low memory power. The best time to study, this was my habit in school and college. When I had exams, I would eat dinner. Dinner was served at 6, 7 max. 8 was latest. We would never eat food after 8 o'clock. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, dinner was done. I would go to bed by 9:30 and set an alarm for 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning, there was dead silence in the world. I would wake up in the morning and do all my studies. 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. was the best time for me to study. 6 a.m. to 6:45, maybe I'll take a 30, 40-minute nap. Just a break between my studies and day, get ready and go to work. Go to school or go to work. I was, in fact, doing 2 jobs while I was still in college. And this is how I survived, by clicking the Brahma Muhurat, by tapping into it. Okay?
Thank you so much for that, ma'am. The next question is been asked by Rekha. Ma'am, as a student, it is difficult to maintain the food schedule. Generally, after 10 p.m., we eat a lot. How should we do?
Okay, that's the worst excuse you can give to yourself. Stop making excuses, first of all. What do you mean as a student it's difficult for you? Are you cooking your own foods and also earning a salary to pay your college fees? No, right? Your parents are paying for your college fees. Your mother's cooking food. Your only job is to eat on time. How can you make an excuse saying that as a student, it's difficult for me to eat food on time? It means you're not serious about your health. You're not serious about your life. Your job is just to eat the food that your mother's cooked. Your mother's not cooking food at 10 or 12 in the night. Your mother's cooking food at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Because you're eating late, now she's cooking late in the night. You've ruined her sleep also. Unless you're the one who's cooking food every day and earning salary and going to college, and then you tell me it's difficult for me, I can probably understand. That's an excuse you're just making. You're not serious about your health. You need to wake up early, eat early. Okay?
Okay, so let's move on to the. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. Let's move on to the next question. So we'll take another about couple of questions because there are so many, but we'll take up another couple of questions max. So, how Priyam asked, how skills of management professional can help and contribute in the field of gut health and entrepreneurship related to it?
Now, the world is booming with a lot of products and services that are catering to the gut health. So, if you're looking to create a business or become an entrepreneur in the field of gut health, number one, start researching. Okay, based on modern science, all the reports that is out there about gut health. There are a lot of industries, food packaging industry, that have ruined our gut health by creating a lot of foods like chips and jams and ketchup and French fries and all these packaged food industry. The McDonald's and the KFCs have literally ruined our gut health, mental and emotional health. The new age entrepreneurs should come out and say that, you know what, we're done eating this dead food, this poisoned food. We want to create our own industry. Start creating business models around organic foods. Source your ingredients from organic farmers. The more the demand goes up, the more the supply will go up. Stop sourcing ingredients from farmers that use insecticides and pesticides and herbicides, which are going to enter your body and become endocrine disruptors, causing a series of diseases. Instead, you source foods from organic farmers, supplies, and then you use minimal invasive methods to package it. You do not process it. Processing means stripping away all the nutrition and the fiber and packing it with chemicals to give it a shelf life. You do not want foods with shelf life. If it can survive on the shelf for 6 months, it can survive in your gut for 6 months. Number one, invest in research. Number two, invest in organic farmers and organic supplies. Number three, invest in a food business that creates organic, healthy foods. Number four, you can always invest in probiotics, prebiotics industries, a good gut. There are a lot of business opportunities coming here, but invest in research, number one, and marry traditional science with modern science.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. We'll take the one last question for the evening. This has been asked by Dr. Pallavi Vyas. Is it good to have fruits or salads in the evening? I think you've already answered it's not good to have it in the evening, but still they want to know from your end.
Reason being, okay, it's a good question. We all think that, fruits is healthy. Let's eat fruits for dinner instead of eating roti, sabji, dal. Maybe we're doing our gut a favor. That's what even many people in my family used to think. They're like, let's eat an apple instead. But one apple is equal to 1 cup of coffee. It has the same waking effect on your body that coffee has. So when is the best time to eat an apple? In the morning, so that you're alert the whole day. Fruits have active fruit acids and enzymes that makes your gut bacteria very busy. They become very busy. If they're busy, the bacteria, you can't fall asleep. Your bacteria also has to stop, go to a resting phase. Your digestive health has to come to a resting phase. Fruits have an active waking effect on the body, and they can block melatonin or interfere with the melatonin production that allows you to fall asleep. So it's best not to eat fruits after sunset. And don't eat fruits with vegetables. You can have sauteed vegetables in the evening. Say, you came back very late from work, you didn't have time. Don't eat a solid meal. Just have soup and sauteed vegetables for dinner and go to sleep. 3 hours gap between your last meal and sleep is important.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for sharing your valuable insight with all of us today. And I'm sure this has helped each one of us being a participant in this IRE talks. And your the ideas, the valuable insights which you have given us, it's going to help. I would say even if we start utilizing this or implementing this even by say about 5%, I think that we're going to see a big change in the routine lifestyles of everybody. So thank you once again. My heartfelt gratitude to you for sharing all your expertise and knowledge with all of us. And I would also like to thank all the participants who have been so interactive throughout these sessions and having a wonderful engagement with all of us. Thank you so much for that. One last information I would like to give you, that you can watch this webinar, this IRE Talks on GIBS YouTube channel. You can follow Dr. Dimpla also on Insta, on the social media handle. She's really very, very active. So I'm sure you will learn a lot of things, as ma'am has already mentioned, that every day you will get one tip for your life so that you can utilize it for yourself. And you can also share it with your friends to understand more on that. And in case, if you need any further assistance, you can directly get in touch with madam. I'm sure they would be able to help you out through your probably consultation or the journey of your health. And one small information I would love to give here is your certificates would be shared into next working days. That's by 10th of September. And our next webinar is by Ms. Palak Khanna on getting this started with social entrepreneurship. And she's the founder and CEO of Breaking the Ice, and she's also a Josh Talk speaker. That's on 18th of this month, that is 18th September at 4:30 p.m. So we are looking forward to see you all. Do like and subscribe GIBS as well as Dr. Dimple so that you stay updated with all the things what we happen. Thank you so much, Dimple ma'am. It was really nice having you once again. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All the very best, and congratulations to GIBS and IRE Talks for creating such a beautiful platform for people to innovate, to learn, to understand research and science in the future. All the very best, and God bless you all.
Thank you.